because he took a knee because he had grease in his eye. According to the rule book, they said you can take a knee if you did not get hit. Right? If you did not get hit, you could take a knee. Now, granted, morally, he should have thugged that out, although he got grease in his eye. But coach, I'm gonna give the mic back to you. Pause. What you think about that fight? What you think about everything that's transpiring after the fight? Let me know something.
Right. Like we said before, it's being reviewed by the New York State Athletic Commission. So some things could be turned around. But regardless, I can care less about the New York State Athletic Commission. I'm gonna speak the truth. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I may develop some haters, some real live, I might get some flack for this, but 100%, I don't care what nobody say. This fight was a draw. The judges got this right in the championship match. You know what I'm saying? Some unification stuff going on. Possibly one person going for undisputed going on. They got this 100% right. It's a draw. It's a draw. Let me break it down. Okay. For all you Tank haters and Tank lovers, you know your fighter, right? What does Tank do the first 4 rounds? He kind of fills you out. He downloads DNA. He kind of see what bothers you. He kind of see what don't bother you. He not going all in. He just messing with you. He kind of playing the cat and mouse game. Let me see what I can get out of you this early on. So first 4 rounds, Tank was Tank. Lamont Roach did nothing to stop that. He did nothing to impede that. He did nothing to try to steal any early rounds at all. So right now you got Tank up, in my opinion, 4-0. Okay, cool. We get into rounds 5 and 6. Okay, that's when they start turning the stove on a little bit, possibly cutting on the oven. They probably finna start cooking. So in these 2 rounds, it was a toss up, but I gave one to Roach and I gave one to Tank. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Now you get into the nitty gritty of the thing. Lamont Roach, 7, 8, and 9. He was brilliant. He was flawless damn near. He took some of the hardest punches I've seen. Possibly I've seen Tank throw. Tank threw some stuff out and he took it. And it is what it is. It is what it is. He did what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? So now we down to rounds 10, 11, and 12. Now, in my opinion, I thought Lamont Roach needed to win out to make it a draw. And he, in my opinion, won out and made it a draw. So again, if you go back and look at the fight, the judges got it right. In my opinion, I got it right. Now, we seen some unusual things come from Tank, the taking the knee. And if he was gonna call it how he was wanting to call it, when the dude had tried to slip a punch or turn his head, I forget exactly what it was. You can see his braid slap him clear in the eye. And by the braid slapping him in the eye, I'm not making excuses. He probably got something in his eye. So he took a knee. And at the time when he was going to take the knee, yes, Roach kind of grazed him with a little jab. So I get it. I understand where y'all coming from. Not only that, I'm saying it on record. The ref started counting. I'm like, uh-oh, Tank, you in trouble now. He counting. So you got a knockdown. I said it was a knockdown. And I looked, I was like, what he doing? What he going to do? He got his face wiped. Okay, cool. But why the ref stop counting? So it ain't got nothing to do with Tank. It ain't got nothing to do with the judges. The referee calls that right there. If he gonna call it a knockdown, call it a knockdown. If you gonna let him get up and wipe his face, then don't start calling. So that's on the judge. If y'all want to get on anybody, get on the judge for taking this fight from whoever you thought it was taken from. But anyways, the fight was a draw. Now let's continue from what I seen from a characteristic standpoint. Lamont Roach was not the faster fighter. He was not the stronger fighter. He was not the smarter fighter. But you can tell he was ready for whatever Tank had to throw at him. And what made it a good fight and what I thought made it a draw was the response from both fighters each time a fighter landed. Tank did get hurt in this fight. Lamont Roach got cross-eyed in this fight. So you can't sit there and say, hey, Tank ain't ever hurt Lamont Roach. He hurt. If you're paying attention, he hurt him one good time. He hurt Tank one good time. So it is what it is. It's still a draw. And I'm still talking about the draw. It's still 1-1. It still wasn't what. And then you get to the part of the fight to where it was like, let's just exchange in the pocket and see who get who. I respect that from both of them because both of them could have said, nah, I ain't finna do that. Lamont could have said, nah, I ain't finna do that. Tank could have said, nah, I'm not finna do that. But they both got in there and threw the kitchen sink at each other and they both withstood and they both made it to the end. Nobody got their hand raised. And I'm going to say this too again. I am a fan of no fighter. I am a fan of boxing. Kpo is a fan of no fighter. He is a fan of boxing. We gonna call it how we see it. We gonna call it down the middle. We gonna call a spade a spade. Now, with Tank's corner, that is abysmal over there. I don't know what they got going on. I don't know what they was trying to establish in that corner, but it's too many Chiefs in that corner and no Indians. You got Tank arguing, telling Coach Ford he not gonna do this or listen to me. He not even really trying to make eye contact with Barry Hunter. He not even trying to hear that game plan from Barry Hunter because Barry Hunter was trying to have Tank in more like a defensive standoff posture, waiting to counter punch. Coach Ford was trying to tell Tank, go for what you know, be you. And then the other coach in the corner telling him that I believe the other coach in the corner was telling him some good advice, something he should have been executing, but he could not hear it because it was just too much commotion going on in that corner. So Tank, you need to get your camp right. You talking about calling this fight out and redoing it this early in May? Then hey, you better get your corner right because you cannot go in there disfocus again with that same corner because this time you will lose. You will lose because Lamont Roach is no slouch. He is a veteran. He knows what he's doing when he gets in there. Again, Tank really takes the cake in every single attribute in the boxing category over Lamont Roach, but it's not always about the talent you got. Sometimes that man that crossed the ring don't care about what you got, and he coming in there to take what you got. And Lamont Roach was there for that. It was a great fight. They delivered. They did not fail us. And for those of you that I know Tank didn't gain about 1 million more haters just because they finally want to say, "Oh, he looked a human." Let me tell you something. Boxing is boxing. On any given night, you can look like a regular human, but it's on you to stay the course when you get a draw, when you get a loss, and still be great. So it's no reason for none of y'all to get all uppity. And, oh, I told y'all Tank can't knock everybody. Of course he Tank. Who don't? What real boxer don't know I can't knock everybody out? What real boxer don't? What real boxer on Tank's level don't understand? I can at any given moment on any given day in any given fight, I may have to go 12 rounds and toe to toe with somebody. He knew that. He had respect for that man before he got in the ring. He knew what was up. They go back way back. They know each other. So y'all making it seem like he got in there with some type of slouch or peon he ain't never been around or never sparred with or seen before, and he gave him a run for his money. No, he was in there with a legit opponent. And to this date, Lamont Roach is the most complete fighter Tank has fought, and I respect the judges for making that a draw. Nobody lost no belt. Nobody took a real L, and they set it up to where they got to come back and fight. And this is a fight I want to see again.
That's facts. Everything you said is on the money. But the fight itself, like you pointed out, was a fight that, tooth and nail came to a draw. It is what it is. Now, let's see if Tank can fix that corner. Also, Tank got to fix his mentality. Okay. He's been looking kind of arrogant. One thing I noticed in the weigh-in, and I pointed this out on my channel, he's finna go up to the scale, and the guy tells him, "Hey, you gotta take your necklace off." Why? Because a necklace, any amount of jewelry can add extra weight, extra pounds. So they kind of want you like down to your dang near almost naked. And Tank snapped on him. These are the things, the little things that I'm talking about. The arrogance. The stuff that's going on in this corner, having all these coaches in this corner. There should be one coach talking. Tank got to sit there and decide who's going to be the head honcho, right? Everybody plays a part, and when it comes to training camp, right? I'm not a professional, but I had 3 coaches I worked with, but my head coach was the only one talking on fight night. He was the only one that was telling me what he needed to do, what I needed to do. It wasn't, hey, do this, then this coach telling you do this, then this coach telling you do this. It's too much going on. So Tank got to regulate that as a professional. He got to regulate that and say, hey, look, if it's going to be Coach Calvin that's going to be the head honcho, hey, Coach Calvin, you know what I mean? You're gonna do your thing. You're going to be the head honcho. Coach Kenny, you're going to be second. Barry Hunter, you're going to be third in command. And Boo, you're going to be fourth in command. That's what you need. But it needs to be Coach Calvin's voice. That's the only one that needs to be talking in that corner. So he got to get his life in order. And I feel like, and I don't mean to get preachy, but God is revealing something to him. And what I mean by revealing to him, he's revealing that, hey, I can take all this away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Tank's greatest fear is losing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said that openly. My greatest fear is losing. He could potentially have a L on his record because the New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing it. So he needs to really humble himself, get in the gym, and get back to it. Fighters like Lamont Roach, he's not a well-known name, but everybody knows in boxing, when you box before, and even if you coach before, you know that there are guys in that ring that you can't just dog walk. There are guys in that ring that you got to have a strategy and you got to have a plan to get that dude out of there. You
Mm-hmm.
could sit there and land as many hard punches on him if you want to. He gonna eat them. But you got to put punches together and you got to have a game plan, a strategy, run him into something. You know what I mean? You cannot just come in there and I'm just gonna dog walk him. And he was hitting Lamont Roach with stuff that dropped other dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Tank had to, one thing I saw, Tank was not really going to the body like that. He wasn't making too many deposits to the body.
Mm-hmm.
A fighter like Lamont Roach, you got to break him down to the body. So it was just certain things that Tank wasn't doing. He was so in love with, I'm trying to knock him out, I'm trying to knock him out. A fighter like that, you got to break him down. You got to use IQ, have an excellent game plan, and break him down. Not game plan, fight plan. Coach said boxing is not a game. So fight plan. You got to have a great fight plan in order to get your hand raised. Another thing, this is why I say Floyd Mayweather is the greatest of our era. Floyd Mayweather did whatever he needed to do to win a fight. Yeah, he talked. Yeah, he was flashy. But when he got in that ring, he was on point.
Mm-hmm.
He did whatever he needed to do to win. And that's what it's about. It's not about being real or being the toughest or no. Floyd did whatever he had to do. So if that means he had to hit you out, hey, I'm gonna hit you 10 times around. That's what he gotta do. If I gotta hit you 13 times around, 20 times around, and I'm out of here, that's what I gotta do. If the knockout come, it come. And that's what Tank said that before the fight. Oh, I'm not in there looking for the knockout. But truthfully, you was. Just based off how you were fighting. So Gervonta Tank Davis, man, he just gotta humble himself, man. His mindset is somewhere else. But now this has refocused him. You notice all that retirement talk in the trash. Now he talking about, I want my get back with Roach, and then I'm gonna come back again for a third time. I want to fight 3 times this year. So that fire is back in him. That competitiveness is back in him. I told y'all, if this man get back focused, a focused Tank is a dangerous Tank. He get in there and he spark Lamont Roach. All right. I'll let Shakur talk, because, and I got to address this, and I'm going to ask Coach this question. I'll let Shakur talk about, I know for sure Shakur can beat Tank. Oh, okay. Put that man in there with Tank. I mean, Coach, I guess I could toss this to you. Do you think after this performance, did that alter your perspective in any way, any form, as it became to the Shakur Stevenson fight or the Keyshawn Davis fight? Let me know something.
Negative. Not at all. It is one thing for sure. Lamont Roach was competitive. But it's two things for certain. Shakur is not going to fight like Lamont Roach. And Keyshawn Davis ain't going to fight like Lamont Roach. Shakur don't have the power. And Keyshawn Davis don't have the patience. That's not neither one of their fight plans. That's not in their repertoire. That's not nothing they pride themselves and put into their fight plan. They're going to fight how they've been fighting, and that is that. We've seen Shakur has peaked. Keyshawn Davis, he is slowly peaking, in my opinion. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure because he does have dog mentality and he got some pop behind his punch. But neither one of these two is going to withstand a Tank. You're not making it against Tank. And if I did have to say one would make it, the damn sure wouldn't be Shakur. And I'm gonna leave that like that.
Man, like we say, bro, Shakur Stevens is a great fighter, but that matchup, him and Tank, I'm telling you, he ain't got no bricks in his pocket. He ain't got nothing that can keep that man off of him. Even if he do what he did against De La Santos, Tank eventually gonna touch that boy. Big pause on that. But he gonna touch him. Then what's gonna happen after that? Everybody is fascinated with Shakur because of his partnership with Terrence Crawford. That's the only reason why. That's the real reason. But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do, or it doesn't alter because Tank had a draw with a fight with Lamar Roach, that it doesn't alter anything. That fight is still a dangerous fight for Shakur. Now, Keyshawn, I honestly think Keyshawn, to me, is a better, I'll say he's a more exciting fight for Tank than Shakur. Right? We know what Shakur gonna do. Shakur gonna dance around that ring. He gonna salsa dance. He gonna hit the Macarena. He gonna be around you know what I mean? He gonna be doing this thing. He gonna South Dallas swag around the ring. He gonna jig. He gonna do all that. He gonna hit the Frankie. He gonna be all over there around that ring. You know what I'm saying? Keyshawn Davis gonna try to match fire with fire. And that's what's gonna get his lights turned off by the electrical man. But it's a more interesting fight, Tank fighting Keyshawn Davis. Shakur Stevenson, there's nothing he can do, in my opinion. I'm sorry. There's nothing he can do. I know they building up this thing about him being a boogeyman and him having. So I heard somebody say somebody said on my channel, Coach, somebody said that boy Shakur Stevenson got a better defense than Floyd Mayweather. I almost lost my mind when I heard that. They said he got a better defense than Floyd Money Mayweather. Than Pretty Boy Floyd.
I'm not even gonna reply to that. I don't nonsense, man. If that's what they see, then but you need to do soul searching, some life rearranging. That's crazy.
That's called sack chasing. So that's what it's called, sack chasing. I've never seen. This what makes me mad about boxing, Coach, is we're in a sport where like anybody think because they've watched boxing since 1985 that they know boxing. And it's like, no, you've watched boxing. Watching boxing is different from being in boxing. Like Coach B coached boxing. He comes up with fight plans for his fighters. Even now, he'll tell you when he watch fights, he looking at people's feet. He's assessing everything from a coach's perspective. Right? I'm getting into that coaching realm, so I'm starting to do that as well. But I actually competed. You know what I'm saying? Coach built guys into warriors to compete. You know what I mean? And he trained as well. So it's just like this over here ain't a situation where we just decided, oh man, we're gonna talk boxing. No. We put in the work, we put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Mm-hmm. So when we sitting here saying something about a particular fighter, it's something that we see that you, as a regular fan, ain't gonna see. You just riding the wave. You know, and just because we see a certain thing don't mean that, hey, it may be, hey, a needle in a haystack out of one blue moon that we be wrong. But that's boxing. That's sports. You know what I mean? How many people in the Super Bowl picked the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the Philadelphia Eagles? How many people is picking the Eagles? You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. It happens. But understand, when it comes to this matchup between Tank and Shakur, there's nothing that man can do. I'm sorry. I don't see it. Offensively, he ain't got nothing to keep that man off of him. He may be able to be a master of distance and all that, but ain't no way you can sit here and tell me Shakur Stevenson, who just fought an electrician who came off an 80-hour work week, and he was sitting on his punches on that boy. At the end of the fight, the boy face was clean. He could go take some image shots with his daughter, with his kids, with his gal. You know what I mean? He can get a commentator job. He could have went straight and sat on the thing and start commentating. They wouldn't even put makeup on him. Shakur don't have anything to keep that man off of him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want y'all to understand that. Now, as it pertains to Tank Lamont Roach, a couple of people were sitting there saying, Coach, that Tank will not rematch Lamont Roach. Straight up and down, no side effects. Do you feel like Tank will rematch Lamont Roach?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't. Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Especially if Tank know he wasn't focused. Tank know he was off his game. Tank know his corner wasn't right. Tank know he didn't execute in a proper manner. Tank know the way he was fighting was not his style of fighting. Yeah, and Tank is well aware. He's not in denial of none of this. You can see it on his face during the fight when he started looking like I ain't gonna knock this dude out. He started looking. He started trying to see. That's when Tank really started trying to box and get himself into a groove. When he figured like I'm not finna knock this dude out. And it is what it is. Long story short, Tank is gonna rematch him immediately. Now, if Lamont Roach takes, it's on Lamont Roach and his team if they're gonna take the fight.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, Tank is he said he pushing for it. So um I say I believe it's gonna happen. I believe it's gonna happen, and I think Tank is also going to look to fight again this year, a third time, and that third fight may be Shakur Stevenson, it may be Keyshawn Davis, it may be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Lomachenko. I would love to see Tank versus Lomachenko. I'm not gonna lie to you. Uh, but I understand the hatred for Gervonta Tank Davis is real. I understand that, but let's back off, man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he had a poor night at the office. We all can agree to that. But all this talk about he sucked, let's back off the block. Coach, you got anything else you want to say?
Nah, that'll be it for me. I'm gonna let them say what they gotta say. And they gotta say to us. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot going on after they watch this here, in our opinion. But at the same time, it is what it is. I have nothing else further to say.
Already. We didn't say it, man. Like I keep telling y'all, this is the genesis, this is the beginning, man. Continue to subscribe, continue to hate, continue to do all that. Tell your mama, your grandma, your sister, your uncle about our page, man. You know what I mean? And if you have any constructive criticism that's positive, hey, me and Coach, we open to it. If you are negative and trying to offer criticism negatively, you will be dealt with accordingly. Like grown men deal with other grown men or whatever you identify as. I know over here, me and Coach, we grown men. So you're going to get dealt with in that manner. I'm going to tell you what I need to tell you one time. That's it. Coach going to intellectually break you down, right? And he out of there. You know what I mean? So understand, man, when you come over here, man, this grown man over here, we ain't little boys. We ain't gonna be doing too much talking on the internet. Um, we got some opportunities coming. Y'all continue to support us, continue to look out for that. Y'all might come on this channel and hey, we may be in a room in the same room. You know what I'm saying? So just understand, man, we are constantly looking to grow the channel. We're constantly looking to get better. We not content, we ain't satisfied. So y'all continue to support us on this journey. Like I said, we just said, we did what he did. We clutched up, we talking about. I'm Boss. That's Coach B, aka Brody. We out of here.